best. Maybe just a good old shout, but may need to get their brains online and ready to go to compete with Cloud9 because they are a very good team. They came up, however, against a bit of an on-form Rogue, reunited Rogue. What a fantastic series that was. The Europeans have delivered. The question is, who is going to come through and face Rogue in the next round, the knockout round tomorrow, and who is going to go home early?
Yeah, you know what's even scarier than this is that these two teams have not actually met on Dorado in competitive play.
Wow.
In a tournament. They have not met on this map. So we're going to see how they're going to be able to perform. You've got Cloud9 5-3 on this map, so 5 wins, 3 losses in terms of maps. compLexity 11-17, so not looking too good for them. Not to mention just the performance they had before. I was talking to our manager Tifa, and she was saying, they're really down on themselves after that game. They felt really upset about it. Obviously you would. Yeah. I mean, losing to Reunited in like, was like 3 minutes, just about 3 minutes.
Seconds, yeah.
So it was like 3:01 on King's Road, and it was like 3:30 on Watchpoint Gibraltar, which is a time you should never see happen. But it doesn't matter. That game's in the past. This game's now. compLexity on the defense, Cloud9 on attack.
Yeah, America, you may well have just woken up while you found that Envious are through as the #1, along with Reunited from Group A and Group B. The question is, are we going to be seeing another American team joining them? Because both these teams are on the cusp of leaving the tournament. Who would have thought that with Cloud9, the #2 team in America? But here we go. It is going to be Cloud9 on the attack. KaiKai on his almost fabled Zaya. You kind of see him on nothing else these days, really. And of course, along with Short4. Now, Short4 got an early pick last time on this map. They played Rogue on here, and it started working out well for them until they can reach the final point. 92 meters was all they could make it. Here they go, and instantly, it's Reaver that goes down.
Yeah, I was gonna say, compLexity gave up so much ground here, actually, over to Cloud9. They pushed the payload completely through this underpass, but with Shake getting an early kill, it does give them the advantage, but they don't go for the fight off the back of that. Instead, they're gonna sit back, and it looks like they're almost unsure of what to do here. Cloud9 have free reign of this area. They're just not using it to their advantage. They're not spreading out. Finally, Short4's gonna be able to come in from the side. It even has that potential to flank if he wants it.
The flashbang nicely blocked out there. JKW catching the eye of that one around the side there, trying to get a shot on towards Joe Meister. Not going to work out for him though, has to back away, and what indeed? DeBeck gets picked out. Short4 gets himself a kill before being taken down, and that's a solid hold from compLexity. Payload reads the fountain, but goes no further.
I mean, you can't really argue with the results there, but that was a really questionable Transcendence out of Shake. That was used so early with nothing actually being committed on the other side. So if you talk about in terms of value, the value of that was they held the point, yes, but you didn't force any ultimates out of Cloud9 to make them waste it to counter with the Transcendence. So you didn't get as much as you would have hoped for, but now you've been able to hold the point for now 1 minute and 45 seconds, and Cloud9 are going to be on the attack yet again with an Earth Shatter of DeBet, and even a Graviton Surge out of KaiKai in a few seconds.
Left flank coming around. They're going to try and push around, trying if they can pick anything up. You can see Adam. He's got his Transcendence ready and waiting to go. Here they go. The Earth Shatter comes down, but he gets blocked off quickly. Graviton Surge counters it. Talk gets himself a double there. JKW goes down as well. They have to back away. The Deadeye working well for Talk, and Cloud9 held again. 2 minutes down and counting.
I guess I can't complain at all with Shake then using the Transcendence because they held on for 2 fights in a row. Even with Cloud9 having Graviton and Transcendence themselves, even a Deadeye and an Earth Shatter, it was not enough to overpower compLexity, and they have to go back to the drawing board. We're 2 minutes and 20 seconds in here, Demon. 1 minute 35 left on the clock for Cloud9 just to take this first checkpoint, let alone the entire map.
Solid hold so far, but now the left flank's working out well. JKW sitting to land the hub. Shattered doesn't manage to get anything with it there. He's going to try and find himself onto Reaver. Can't get the kill on him. Goes for KaiKai. Swing and a miss. Finally gets him down. But the rest of his team are in trouble around the back here. It's a pretty even 2-for-2 exchange. But Nicholas comes chiming in once again. DeBet goes down. And this looks like a solid hold. Reaver's got himself his copter ready and waiting to go. Death Blossom not going to be pulled out. Has to back away. Rest of his team picked up. compLexity hold. Another minute chalked up on the board. And just 1 to go.
And in Cloud9, they have the opportunity to actually go for this attack. The problem is Grego died a little bit too late, which allowed compLexity time to get the entire team back here ready to fight. So they don't have the opportunity to fight a 6v5 situation. So they have to just fight pretty much on the laurels here and hope to pick up a victory.
Short4 switching over to the Tracer as well, trying to make this work. Obviously, the McCree not going so well for him. Very good on the Tracer, gets around the side, got those golden guns. Talk gets himself the Deadeye down there. That's DeBet, the tank being picked off. Now we're starting to see some real problems. There's a left click going down. Short4 picked off. 30 seconds is all that remains. compLexity may hold on here on Dorado on the first point.
And they're going to push up aggressively too. Hardblue picks up 2 kills, able to take down Adam, so they don't have all 6 ready to attack before that timer gets ticked down to the last few remaining seconds. This payload, it's been stuck at the fountain the entire time, even with compLexity giving up so much ground. But Cloud9, they do have a good pair of ultimates to use. They have an Earth Shatter, which is going to be so crucial, and KaiKai so close to Graviton Surge.
Look at Hardblue, he's above them. He's got Graviton Surge ready and waiting to go. He's going to get all sucked in around the back. There they go. Is there any follow-up? The shields are still there. Transcendence gets pulled out. Earth Shatter comes down.
Schiffer and Reaver trying to at least delay for a little bit of time so people to get back into this fight, but Schiffer's gonna go down and there's no one left on Cloud9, and compLexity, the team who got absolutely stomped by Reunited, hold first point against Cloud9. That is something I don't think any of us out there would have expected.
The furthest it got was the fountain. It's just an awful, awful round from Cloud9. My God, 72 meters and 78.
The coordination as well in that final attack, or at least final defense, we should say, for compLexity. So Harblu on the high ground gets a 6-man Graviton Surge. Then the Transcendence just popped a counter to obviously keep your team healthy, right? And what do they do off the back of that? JKW gets behind him, Earth Shatters across the entire enemy team. So these back-to-back stuns, this back-to-back team fight control allow compLexity to finally pick up these kills, allow them to finally shut down this entire attack. And you can just see on your screen, that is not far at all.
That is not far. That is one fight, and that is GG. We're on to map number 2, compLexity. That, I mean, if ever they needed a confidence booster, that was it right there.
Are we in a world that we ever would have expected Cloud9 to drop out on day 1?
In 2 maps, in 2 rounds,
yeah.
that'd be, yeah, that's not, I mean, they were favorites in this group. Yeah. They were the favorites in this group. There's no doubt about it. Whew. Okay.
The pressure's on. This is getting worrisome for me, and I think a lot of Cloud9 fans out there.
And it's crazy. It's crazy. Cloud9 are not the team that we'd expect to question on land because they've put in good results. They've been solid from the beginning of in the beta even.
Google me. That's what their original team name was.
Yeah.
Now they got picked up by Cloud9 then. But
that was very early in the beta as well. I mean, they've been supported for a very long time. This would be not good for them or the organization.
And compLexity is running triple tank. So what this says to me is they're going to have a lot of sustained damage with a Roadhog and a Reaper. They're going to tear through any sort of shield Tibet's going to have, which means the shield's gone, you hook in one person, that could end the entire first map here. So it's going to be tough for Cloud9 to play around this. They have to be really careful, and Tibet has to have a phenomenal game to somehow work around all this damage that's going to be coming his way onto the shield.
It's on the flank, and it's Harblu on the Hog. He's so good on this. He's landing hook after hook.
High ground.
He's actually getting around the side, managing to get into position. He's going to go full left flank here, joins the rest of the team, doesn't manage to catch anyone there, takes a Discord up for his distaste. They get a little bit of damage in there, see if they can't work down that shield. So Tibet's shield's going to be vital because if that gets dropped and Kai doesn't manage to get a shield on anyone, the hook comes out, that's going to just pull them down. See the payload moving in, they're just going to brute force it through here. Oh, Harblu flicks it out, saw the Reaver in the side there, not going to land it. They don't need to panic, they don't need to rush. They've got 3 minutes 20 and it's a very easy marker to reach. They just need to get one pick.
And these hooks are just not landing too. And with Kai, how quick he is on the response, if anyone does get hooked in, they're immediately going to be shielded up. So you have to hit 2 hooks in a row or just pull a Zarya in yourself. Kai gets taken extremely low. He's actually healing up. He's able to retreat with the help of the shield. Adam gets a kill on JKW. And Joe Meister's going to fall. So even with that hook being used with compLexity starting the fight, Cloud9 will hold strong.
It almost baited his team in. I got a feeling JKW went for the swing because he pulled in and dropped straight in front of him, planted in his face, and the rest of the team respected well. But no problem. Still 3 minutes. Still plenty of time for compLexity. It's going to take a mammoth hold here for Cloud9 to not make a mistake.
This is where things get difficult, though, because this is when ultimates come online, and they're going to be really stagnated from each other as well for both teams, which makes things even more difficult. And again, another hook's going to miss. They're going to use the sound to push straight in, and there's going to be Harblu popping the whole Hog.
You're going to get around the side there. You can see Transcendence coming in as well to try and keep them at bay. Tibet gets the Earth Chapter down. Doesn't really get a great deal with that one. The hook comes through. The Transcendence, he gets pulled out. Shortfall gets himself one, but Harblu and Nicholas chime themselves in. They get themselves a couple. Nicholas is going off, but Kai chimes in, gets himself a triple kill. Shortfall comes through, and Harblu suddenly finds himself the last man standing. And Cloud9 holds strong just about once again. But 2 minutes on the clock. It's a lot longer run for Cloud9 to get back here. compLexity coming back in force.
Yeah, and Cloud9, they use so many ultimates in that fight. The Deadeye, these are Transcendence, the Graviton Surge as well, even a Soundbird to engage on. And compLexity with Torque having his own Graviton Surge, pair that in with Nicholas and the Death Blossom, that could spell disaster for Cloud9. They need to see exactly where Nicholas is going because he could just teleport behind them. And if he does that, he's not going to be in spawn in time, and you have to depend on Sherpa to hit a flashbang.
The Winston change from Harblu. They're going to go piling in. The Graviton Surge comes out. JKW, Nicholas comes in. That is going to be it. compLexity get themselves all 4 kills. There's the 5th. The payload will make its way through. And compLexity take map number 1 on Dorado over Cloud9 in absolute style. They hold the defensive point. Not only that, they hold at the fountain on the first point. Great stuff from compLexity. What a bounce back comparing their performance against Reunited. They absolutely needed that to get their mental edge. Smiles on their faces at last.
Not smiles for Cloud9, though. They look a little bit frustrated with that one. But that's something I asked Stir earlier on. When you defend first and you come in onto attack knowing the time you have to beat, doesn't that put more pressure onto you? And he said, no, it excites you. It lets you know what you need to beat and helps you play a little bit quicker and fast-paced, knowing what's kind of on the line. And realizing, yeah, they lost the fights before that. All they need to do is just wait for ultimates to come up, use them appropriately, don't mess them up, don't overcommit them, and you're going to win the fight. It's just really difficult to defend from that situation.
Absolute solid stuff, guys. Let's get over to the analyst desk to take us through that quick one.
I am so very happy about the game we just saw. compLexity did manage to actually take that first one off Cloud9. And it's just great to, like, you know, like, even if they are going to lose the series in the end, no, I'm sorry, I'm just saying that, even if that would happen, which it might not, but even if it would, I don't go there.
I can't believe you have to preface this. What kind of world is this that we live in that we have to preface these statements? It's possible.
Yeah, but there is a possibility. And I mean, even if they are losing in the end, I just think it's like really important for them to have been able to also showcase that they can do it, that they can take a map off of Cloud9.
That already is a lot of redemption. Holding them on the first point is crazy. They didn't even get it like halfway up past the arches. They were able to hold it for so long in such a significant fashion. And then when you come into the attack and know that you don't even have to do that much in order to be able to win, they just kind of slow pushed it. They had Roadhog, like, I'll throw a hook. Like, just, if I get one eventually, I'm just fishing. Like, I'll get it eventually. And they were able to push through and win in the end.
Well, you're not wrong, essentially. And the reason why they could play such a happy-go-lucky approach to the attacking side is because every single ultimate they had on defense, they used it effectively, right? Jason mentioned it on the desk as well. We saw a Graviton Surge perfectly chained into an Earth Shatter. We saw Nicholas there as well going for a Death Blossom that was devastating. So every time we did see an ult come up here for compLexity, it was used very effectively. Nothing was missed, nothing was meh. It was all absolutely on point. And Cloud9, of course, they had the unenviable task of having to come forward and get in position to try and do the same, and they couldn't do it because they were always being interrupted by compLexity here. This is a 180 for me from compLexity. It's excellent.
I have no idea what the hell is happening in this tournament. Like, literally no idea. I think Envious is pretty sure going to make the final, but I wouldn't be surprised at this point if they even lost. I mean,
like, a team that isn't here wins, I would be like, oh, okay, all right.
Okay, that's just what's happening.
Like, what happened to compLexity? They were apparently really upset. They come into this game, they played amazing, and then we saw the camera on C9, they lose, and no one is saying anything. It looks like the perfect example of tilt. They are just staring at their screens like they're frozen in time.
Yeah, well, they do have to do something. What do you guys think is Cloud9 taking away from that very first map we saw?
Salt.
Salt.
Lots of salt.
Loads and loads of it.
It's kind of the reverse of exactly what happened to compLexity. They kind of just had a bad game. They didn't play as well as you'd normally expect them to, and then the same thing happened to Cloud9. You wouldn't expect them to, at the end of that, just be blank-faced, not having really any response, not sure what happened. They just need to collect themselves, pick a map that they're used to, that they know how to play on. What would you expect to see here? Maybe even a King of the Hill?
Yes.
Look, a little bit of overconfidence there from Cloud9, but also Dorado not the greatest for them either. I think we've covered that already. It's
That's
not exactly
true. Their worst map
for them. Exactly. So, all right, let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. It's definitely not Cloud9's. Well, it's their worst map, like you said. So, we'll see. But yeah, throw King and the Hill in here, really push compLexity to be on their feet, individually skilled, and brawl it out and see what happens.
Yeah, we will see what happens in just a few minutes as we are now heading once more back to our castles. Can Cloud9 bring it back against compLexity? At the beginning of this match, I didn't think I ever going to say that sentence into this camera, but I am, and I'm very happy that I get to do so. So guys, take it away.
Yeah, thank you very much. What a great first game. Now, of course, King's Row coming up. This is a map they did take off Rogue earlier on, so this is they obviously fell back and thought, okay, guys, we beat Rogue on this. We know we can do this. We're strong on this map. So,
to be fair, that King's Row wasn't even necessarily convincing too against Rogue. It came down to that last Earth Shatter at the bet. And actually, I talked to Reinforce finally asking what happened with it. Did he jump? He actually was Earth Shattered at the same time the bet was.
That's what I thought. The animation was about to come through.
And ACAM was saying, I'm going to flashbang so you can hit it. And the flashbang didn't come through, and he got Earth Shattered himself. So it was like a minute of time that could have easily went Rogue's way. So it wasn't clean. But the matchup between the two teams on this map, it's favoring Cloud9. They have 5 map wins and 3 losses against compLexity on King's Row. So that's a good sign for them.
Yeah.
Dorado, since it was their first time meeting, was a little bit questionable. I guess compLexity was able to really show up, especially holding them on that first point. This is where things get interesting, because Dignitas already out. you don't want to be the first North American team, especially for Cloud9, when you're favored to be in the top 3 of the entire tournament.
Yeah, I mean, Dignitas was expected from the group. compLexity is expected, but that hold is impressive, was impressive. Now, Kings Row, very hard to defend this initial first point. We've said it many times. I don't think anyone's successfully done it to date to memory. It's been very close. We did see an overtime cap in the end. I think that was the Fnatic game, if I remember rightly. But we'll see. Of course, it is going to be Cloud9 on attack. There we go, on defense, sorry. I was just looking at it thinking, JKW is not on Cloud9. I'm pretty certain of that one, or Harblue. So it is going to be Cloud9 on defense. And a very solid, normal, standard defense coming out from them. compLexity, I'm interested to see how they're going to go with the attack. Obviously, we saw Rogue and Reunited both using the Hanzo. They are sitting on it in the moment. Of course, they've got JKW on Widowmaker. Pretty sure they're going to switch these out. Going to maybe go for a snipe and then switch.
I'm trying to think if they want to go for the quick attack route, or the strategy we've seen out of most teams is just sitting back and using that fountain to your advantage, using that environment to actually block off a lot of potential damage coming your way. Nicholas on the Hanzo, it is a possibility, but it's such a big commitment too, because you want to have a strong start after already winning the first map. You want to kind of take the momentum from the first map, transition into map 2, and hopefully close it out 2-0 for yourself.
JKW go Reinhardt as well.
Yeah, so if they're going this kind of route, they might want to rush through through that hotel and split Cloud9 in half. It depends on how Cloud9's can actually defend it to see how things are going to go.
Almost default comps coming out from both teams, identical. They're going to try and push on around the side there, see if they can cap them out. So shield already for JKW, starting to get whittled down. Tibet trying to get a little pounce on there, but see, they're being delicate here. They want to get that pick, but they don't want to push onto the statue. Look at the statue. You can see in the X-ray model there. Reaver is sitting on the health pack at the moment, so he's hoping he can catch out maybe Joe Meister or Torque to try and peek around that side early.
I'm not sure exactly what happened there. Torque flashbanging around to the fountain to catch Reaver off guard, but it's like, all right, you flashbang. They have nothing to stop you from charging, and then you can rush straight into you. They didn't actually push around the corner to go for a kill there. And if it's even a Reaper anyways, you're not going to get the kill because you can just Wraith form away. But nonetheless, they're pushing up. They have a shield to hide behind, but it is breaking extremely quickly.
Oh, the Deadeye's going to come out, but he gets caught now. Torque manages to get in there, but Reaver goes off. He manages to get a flank around the side. Tibet gets the charge on JKW, and that will be a solid hold. Joe Mercer just hoping that somebody can put his out his misery here, but they're actually delaying killing him. Nicely done there from Cloud9. So first solid hold, 1 minute down.
So we got ultimates across the board now for both teams. Tibet gonna have their Shudder Adam, the Transcendence available, and we have 2 support ultimates out of the attacking side. But I don't know if support ultimates are gonna be enough. However, Torque and Harblue are really close to having that Graviton Surge and Deadeye combo available.
Yeah.
Cloud9 is going to look for something a little bit cheeky here. Reaver in particular to fight in this close quarter combat by this fountain, which you see him. They're trying to bait him in as well, and they're gonna charge straight through with the shield on top.
Well, the Earth Shatter comes through, but he manages to get the kill. Shake was the man he was fighting, and he manages to pick him down. JKW is going to get picked off by Kai. Very solid, simple stuff so far from Cloud9. This is what we were expecting to see from Cloud9 rather than that performance just a moment ago.
compLexity aren't even changing things up. Like, this is, you know, if I'm on a team, I'm obviously not a pro player. I get carried in ranked all the time. But if you're in the situation and you keep butting heads against this wall, why not try to go for a different route? Why not go through the hotel? Try to force them into bad position, but instead they're going to go for the Graviton Surges out of both teams, I believe this is. Kaikai's going to be one of the first to go down, but Sharper picks up a triple with the Deadeye, and that's just enough to hold them back.
JKW tried to get the charge, tried to get through, and obviously the second that shield's gone, it is open season. Shawfall gets himself the triple Deadeye. And Cloud9, okay, 1 minute 45. Do we make adjustments? They used a lot of ultis in there. Nothing changing yet. They're going to stick with it. So Joe Meister's sound barrier was used in that last attack. You can see just sitting around the side. Reaver, again, it's just sneaky. He's in different positions. This time he's going Death Boss and ready and waiting. They're going to try and draw them in the hotel. They're going through the hotel. He's going to have to flank around.
Running right into him here, but the Death Boss not coming out anytime soon. It looks like Tibet's able to pick up a kill to Torque, but he's quickly turned on, and Nikos is trying to go for that 1v1 in towards Reaver, in towards the hotel, even chasing him back towards their spawn. And the shield's going to come through, and it's not going to be enough because Shirtboard is going to compLexity off of this one, and compLexity, I think, are going to be held again.
Catches him with a left click, but Harblue gets himself a double kill. That's both damage dealers down now. Grego taking a big shield there, manages to get pushed down, but Harblue beaming away. 98 charge on that. You can see he's going to be doing a heck of a lot of damage here, but has he got enough in the bank? That's the question. Kai pushes on through. His shield working well. The both big Zai is trying to do what they can to keep this point alive, but at the moment you can see the respawns. It's going to be in favor of compLexity. They're going to get back quicker than Cloud9 can, and finally it looks like they may well actually cap the point.
Yeah, so it was actually a good job by Cloud9, in particular Adam there. He used his Transcendence. They knew they probably wouldn't hold the point, but if anything, it delayed. It bought them time, and we've seen how impactful time can be throughout the entire day today. So buy a couple more seconds if you can, And now compLexity capturing the payload finally are going to start to be on the move into this Death Alley where things get really dangerous, because Debet has been pretty damn on point with his Earth Shatter so far.
Yeah, we've seen some very, very bizarre attacks, aggressive, overly aggressive defensive setups here in the street section. Sometimes it's worked, sometimes it's backfired horrendously, and that's the danger here. If you get caught out, if Harblu can land one of these big Graviton surges, which is what he's aiming for right now, and you get some good follow-up on there, suddenly you can see compLexity at the second payload marker. There we go, gets around the side. There's going to be the Graviton surge. Is there going to be any follow-up? No, because Reaver's gone aggressive. Nicholas does manage to get through the back line, though, and it's a very big fight for compLexity.
So we've seen Harblu somehow make Roadhog sneaky and flank the biggest hero in the game, and he's doing it again with Zarya here. He's actually been able to sneak into that side little room, into that library, catch them as they're pushing aggressively to pull them all together, and then you have to follow up on a Nicholas, was able to hammer that one home. He's going to have his Death Blossom now available and an Earth Shatter. And yeah, compLexity, they faltered a little bit on the first point, but they're starting to come out strong. And this is where momentum is going to be in full swing at compLexity. Cloud9 need to have a strong fight.
They do. They're going to try and contest it just before the point here, but it's going to have to be brute force because they've got no ultis stacked up. They may even just try and back away. They're going to try and go aggressive, but they're coming straight into a stack of ultis. Harblu goes through. He gets himself a double kill. Talk around the back. We're going to see compLexity pushing on through to the final point here in pretty decent time so far. We're 5 minutes just about as we reach that final marker. 4 minutes to close out the map.
And we look into the potential final push, right? What's the final nail in the coffin? Well, compLexity don't have an answer for that. They don't have ultimates to make this happen. Cloud9, let's get some viewing on Reaver, because he's gone onto the Widowmaker, and we saw Linkster do that before from Team Dignitas, and it had no effect at all.
I mean, Reaver, arguably one of the best Widowmakers in the world. You could also say with Tavik as well in there, the European side, but the fact is, Widowmaker did take a big hit. See if he can land those shots. Like you say, it didn't really work out for him. He's looking for Nicholas on the top there. Can't manage to find him. Gets a peek around the side. Still not managing to land those shots. But he only needs to get one, and it could turn that fight big. Talk gets himself the kill in there. Kai replies, though. You can see he is starting to land those shots. There we go. Joe Meister goes down. That's going to slow things down. compLexity stopped dead.
And there's no Winston on compLexity to actually challenge out on this one. They haven't switched because they haven't had the time to. They just now noticed he switched over to this Widowmaker, and we're going to see Reaver have the infra side up soon unless he's going to go switch now, which is honestly such a huge factor for the team. Because Widowmaker's really snowbally. Like, yeah, you don't get extra damage for more kills you get, but the information you get allows you to pick up more kills and be that much more deadly over time. But there's a Graviton Surge coming through. It's actually out of both teams. It's extremely deadly.
Can he catch them out? Nicholas manages to come in. That's the Death Blossom working out while Reaver gets himself one on Nicholas there. Does slow the damage down. The rest of his team are being picked off, so he's effectively useless sitting on here watching the payload come towards the final point. compLexity keep on pushing. 6:20. Cloud9 will get themselves a respawn, but look at this. Talk's getting himself in position to hit that Deadeye as they come on the point.
Most importantly, he's doing it out of line of sight of Reaver, so he cannot be actually caught once he goes for the Deadeye. We're going to see the shields come in. We're trying to see somehow Debet keep his teammates in this one. As Reaver's going to take down Nicholas. That's actually a big loss here for compLexity on this final push. Sherpa off to the side is going to pick up one kill on JKW. Cloud9, they will hold here. The compLexity was so close to finishing this one off. They were 2 meters away from closing out this first half of our second map.
So decent time, decent distance. The question is, can they finish? 2 minutes on the clock to switch things up. Now we see Harblu. He used his Graviton Surge in that previous fight. Now we see him obviously switching across the Winston. They need to get in Reaver's face, deal with him. He's been picking off Joe Meister a little too easily so far, so it's kind of working for them, but now we see him going aggressive, getting around the side, jumping on the supports. Can he get the kill down on towards Gregor or Adam? He's going to track on towards Gregor. Gregor's going to have to back away from this one. He will get picked off eventually. Harblu switches across, finds himself the kill, gets on there. Reaver goes down. Talk gets himself the kill at Kai. They're going to push on through. The Deadeye comes out from Talk. They vault him away. Joe Meister gets in there. They just need to deal with shortfall. Can he delay them long enough? No, just about. The Diva comes through. Debet's back in there, and now the spawn relay begins.
They need to have something to hold us off. They don't have any big ultimates coming up. It's Nicholas, but they don't even need it because Cloud9 have let that one slip. And compLexity, after struggling on that first point, will finish with a time of 7 minutes and 40 seconds. So now Cloud9, that's all that separates them from taking it to the third map. We're going back to the States.
Smiles on the faces of compLexity. They've done their job. It's not a bad time. It's not a great time. 7:40. You know, the fact is, after seeing some of the maps today where just teams are just struggling to finish, defenses have beefed up in this tournament. So to even just finish is good. And now Cloud9, they know what they're up against. They have to cap out that point, and they did it in pretty quick style against Rogue, from what I recall. I think it was either the first or the second attack. They managed to fly through there. Didn't really have too many problems against Rogue. So they've got to be coming into this one pretty confident. They made the adjustments. It was them that managed to switch out and deal with Tivik pretty quick.
That was like Reaver rushing straight through the hotel and just one-shotting. I think that was Unco on Zenyatta. Just completely one-shots him, and it was like, well, what are you doing? You don't have your Zenyatta, you don't have your Discord, you don't have your Orbital Harmony. So obviously you're not really going to win those fights unless some great shots come in. But the times on the board, like this is the time Cloud9 has to beat to stay in this tournament, to kind of keep their spot as the #2 team in North America. Else compLexity is just going to dethrone them, and then they'll go against Rogue tomorrow to see which team will go through to play against the second qualified team from Group A.
Yeah, Misfits versus Fnatic. That's going to be first thing in the morning tomorrow. That's going to be, I think, about 9:20 a.m. CEST. It's a scary time, Jason. These morning times scare me when we're talking esports, but it doesn't happen too often.
Our schedule the last month.
We are a con, so obviously festivals, etc. We have to be out of here by time because things close down, and obviously the fans in here, they don't want to miss these games, so they don't want to be kicked out, so they want to make sure they get these games. And Cloud9, they have to beat 7 minutes 40. They're going home early. They're going home on day one of the Overwatch Atlantic Showdown. I can't even believe this is a possibility. But here we go, Jason. Cloud9 on the attack.
Yeah, we need to see compLexity be very careful about how Cloud9 are going to go for the attack, because if they rush through the hotel, like exactly they're doing, Shake could have gotten caught out and towards the back. They're going to reverse sides, and the kill piece already happened onto both Lucios.
Yeah, Grego going down, Joe Meister picked off either side. Nicholas, though, comes through. Debet gets taken down. It's a 1-for-1 trade as Adam gets in there, gets himself a double. JKW, importantly, go the big tank going down, but they have gone into some really, really weird defensive positions here. You can see they're all over the side. There's one above, there's one behind, there's one in the alleyway. They don't even know where the hell they're defending from, but it is Cloud9 that will come out on top as Shawfall chimes in with 2 kills.
Cloud9 actually like traded spawns with the compLexity there a little bit. They're coming in from where compLexity is supposed to be rushing from. But like I said, they should be able to take this first point now. Don't really see a chance for compLexity to contest, and no need for them to. If they lose any men now, it's going to allow Cloud9 to push up extremely aggressively and hold them in that foundry, which is obviously what you would not want to have happen. You want to be able to challenge at least 1 or 2 fights here.
1 minute is all it took to take that first point. It's exactly what Cloud9 needed. Fans of them, fans of Shawfall, he's got a lot of them. He's a fantastic damage dealer. He nearly got took out there, though. Has to back away. There's a Deadeye coming out from Talk just to try and zone them back, and that's what they're going to hopefully do. They need to hold them in the street section. Now, Cloud9 went aggressive on this point in their attacking side, but almost lost the street section there and then. compLexity got to be careful this doesn't happen against them. As Shawfall gets speed buffed in there with the Deadeye, doesn't get anything for it, just forces them back.
Yeah, just force them back, and not to mention JKW Shield's going to be a little bit hurting this situation, but what do they have themselves to defend? They're going to be able to contest the payload for now. Reaver's actually going really aggressive towards the backside. He's going to dodge up for the flashbangs to be speed boosted away as well. Not to mention the Transcend speed pop, which is actually really bad because Cloud9 have no defensive ultimates left to fight with.
Yeah, they're going to get forced back here. You can say JKW's got the Earth Chatter and he lands it perfectly. Catches them out. Reaver's going himself. His Death Blossom doesn't work out too great. Kai, though, gets himself the kill. The Graviton Surge working well for them. And Shawfall picks himself up a kill. And suddenly compLexity, who were looking great going into that fight, lose out somehow, some way. And Cloud9 going to push on through.
So compLexity forced both support ultimates out of Cloud9 just so they could save Reaver. And then when they go in, the Graviton Surge and an Earth Shatter, they get nothing. They don't get enough kills to hold that point. That's a major loss for compLexity, and now Cloud9 shouldn't really feel too threatened here coming to this. However, Torque, if they can hit a good Deadeye, they might have an opportunity. But look here towards the high ground. That's Reaver again, just waiting to pick off people.
Waiting to pick in. Kai's got Graviton Surge available again. Shawfall manages to chime in. Jason, it's 7 minutes the time to beat. They're going to be coming into this final section with over 6 minutes on the clock. They have an incredible time. We are sub 3 minutes hitting the foundry. This is pretty darn impressive from Cloud9. compLexity, they're going to have a hell of a defensive job on with 0 ultis available.
Yeah, I think Cloud9 kind of realized it's time to start stepping up here, boys, because we cannot afford to be dropped from this tournament in day 1. But compLexity, I mean, honestly, you can't hold 4 minutes here. This is such a tough point to take on the attacking side. It just comes down to your coordination, and Surefour will not let him get kills like that because he takes Torque down.
Yeah, Reaver doing some serious work. This is where the damage dealers need to step up, and they absolutely are. Reaver's continuing to work it through. Cloud9 absolutely rolling through compLexity's defensive line. They have one chance to defend them at the moment, and you can see Reaver's already going in 99% and counting. That is going to be a Death Blossom ready and waiting to go. The second compLexity come out, and he's not going to be expecting him coming from the back door. They're going to be looking towards Debet. You can see Harblue on Winston just humping around the back there. Here he goes. Torque goes around the side. They're looking in. Shawfall gets himself some damage down. Joe Meister does get himself the kill, so Reaver was dealt with. Death Blossom didn't work out for them, and they are going to hold here points prematurely.
You know, Hardblue actually had a really good separation between Cloud9, keeping people in the back, while the aggressive side of Cloud9 went in towards compLexity, which you saw Joe Meister pick up that kill onto Reaver. So it was actually a really good play out of him. Problem is they have to do it again for another 3 minutes and 40 seconds if they want to close this out in a 2-0 sweep, which is not easy at all, especially when Kai, again, has a Graviton Surge ready to go. Hardblue jumping straight towards the back. There's the Graviton Surge being used, and Sherf already picks up one. He picks up two, and Kai's going to secure two of himself, and that ideally should be Cloud9 take us to a third map.
I was just about to say, they're playing a very dangerous game, coming in here one by one, slowly working it in. compLexity will pick up Kings Row in a 4 minutes, 22-second time. It was a pretty darn impressive. It all was set up, of course, by the initial capping of the payload in 1 minute. Once you pick up that in the first attack, it's downhill from there. So map 3 on the cards, Jason Kaplan.
I think this is what their coach Tifo was saying, or their manager Tifo, is that once compLexity start to stumble, they straight fall on their face. Like, they cannot pull it back when everything starts going against them. We saw them on Dorado. Once they had a good couple of fights, momentum was flowing through them. They were ready to go to put up a full stop on that fountain. Coming into this one, they lost the first fight. They had a couple of questionable ultimates being used at some questionable times. And just from there, like, even the Earthshatter towards the end, in the second to last fight, it was used by himself. And it was just like, let me hope something's going to happen here. They need to kind of like somehow have someone in the team pull them back when things are looking grim, because the best teams in the world will be able to do that. They'll be able to stop the rot when the time calls for it.
I wonder if we see a Hanamura or a Kings, some King of the Hill map, who knows. Let's go to the analyst desk to talk about Kings Row.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we are going to talk about Kings Row. Let's talk about the first one we saw, compLexity. They got hold off a little bit too long, did manage eventually to pull through and get that first point, and then actually plow through the very end. Not in the best time, but they still made it, and that's already great. Now on the other side, Cloud9, the second game seemed very smooth. They didn't really struggle on the first point. How would you guys analyze that?
I would say for the biggest part, it was C9's.
Does that throw you off?
Yeah, it's a little distracting. Reaper showed up. The Reaver, sorry. Reaver did really well. He finally did well on Reaper. He did damage, and he actually showed up on the kill field, and that basically brought the whole team together. As long as you have 2 DPS, and we're going to see that right here, he's actually getting kills. He just got 2. He's still doing damage. He's still meleeing between the reloads. He's doing a great job.
That analysis, he's showing up on the kill field.
I
liked it. I liked it.
The thing, it's killing me.
I like that.
You guys, it's okay. You're both doing an excellent job, all right? Be nice.
It's been a very long day. We have to point that out.
All right. Look, it took compLexity. I said earlier on the day, it's like ideally, in a perfect world, you want to get that first
It sounded
point.
like an epic intro to like some sort of in a perfect world.
It's like some cheap game coming out of the East. But point is that you want to get on the first push, all right? It took compLexity a good 3 minutes or so to get there, which is already a worrying sign on Kings Row. The thing is, everyone has this map sort of practiced down to a certain standard, right? So you do get some of these weird games, but it's clear to see that Cloud9 are just better at this map. Just better. That's why I think it's so funny we see such a disparity between their performance on Dorado and Kings Row. Because now we're seeing a bit more of the Cloud9 that we expected to see in terms of Shawfar and Reaper firing up and actually getting the job done. I just want to see more emotion from Cloud9. You know, ever since they got here as well, they've been very restrained. Even after, you know, losing that game earlier on as well, they're not coming back in with this aggression, this hunger to win. They're just like, yeah, boys, righto, well, let's get on with it.
I actually don't think Shawfar is capable of emotion.
A lot of them. All of them are very like chill, low.
Yeah, I do agree. The energy is kind of missing. Pretty sure it eventually will hit them somehow.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Ever. I think personality-wise, their whole team is like very mellow.
Is that an advantage or a detriment to them, knowing them a bit more like you do?
It's a detriment for sure, because they don't get fired up when they win, and when they lose, they just fall into this deep hole of depression and
they just get quiet.
It's dark. Well, we have Watch Point Gibraltar coming up next. So what will they feel about this map?
Shawfar won't feel anything.
Numb. Just numb.
Robot.
But yeah, Watch Point Gibraltar, you guys feeling like that's a good pick, or would you have liked to see something? Okay.
I think the only thing they have going for them is basically the Roadhog on Hardblue. That's their main key point, but I feel like C9 is so practiced on this map, and they have such a good defense on that shuttle point specifically.
They are really good at this map.
That it's not worth it. I would rather them they take their chances on even Hanamura or anything else.
It's weird. It feels like compLexity got stuck in their head that Gibraltar's the best map that they play because they've played maybe one good game on it in recent memory where they're like, we did really good, let's keep playing it. But I don't think it is their strong suit. I think there's a lot of other maps they could have went to.
Yeah, I remember seeing Cloud9 wipe the floor with Rogue actually a few weeks back on this very map. They actually stopped Rogue right in front of the hangar bay doors. It's Cloud9. So for whatever reason, compLexity seem to be confident going in on this map, but there's no reason for us to sit here and actually think that Cloud9 are disadvantaged by this pick at all. I think it's very much up their alley, guys. I don't know if you agree with that one here, but I mean, the results that I've seen from Cloud9 are generally quite positive on this map.
I feel the same way. I just can't wait to see Tasumi come out.
Okay.
It's a Smurf.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
it's a
you.
joke.
Because when you play at the high
thought it was
levels,
just gonna go.
No, I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
Jokes are like really funny when you explain them. Just to point out, like
That's why I was
that,
hoping it
that
would
gives
blow
them the
over.
little extra. And you know what also gives us a little extra is, of course, Lee and Jason casting, and that's what's going to happen next in the last map of the day. Watch Point Gibraltar is what we're heading into, and that's going to be one hell of a game. Enjoy.
Well, here we are to give you that little bit extra. The last map of the day, finally here. I'm not convinced by the Watch Point Gibraltar map. They lost this in 3 minutes 39 against Rogue. I'm not sure about this pick. compLexity.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something they saw in practice that they feel this is their map. I would personally look back in my records and say, you know what? Probably not the best pick.
Even in their past history on this map in general, I mean, there are 6 wins, 8 losses, and that's including the loss against Reunited just earlier, where Cloud9's 19 wins, 11 losses. So looking much better for Cloud9. And they've actually played this against each other, but it was a long time ago, back in July 16th for like the Beat Invitationals. So, I mean, they have previous record on this one, and compLexity actually did win that best of 3 in general, or in those 3 maps. Lost 1 and won 2. But the last map of like your tournament hopes, do you really want to put on Gibraltar? Like, I kind of agree. Let's throw something maybe a little cheeky in there. Let's throw out some maybe capture points or maybe King of the Hill, because this map, you had such a terrible performance on it earlier today.
Yeah, I mean, that's what that tells me is they've done their prep, they've done their work, their scrims, and they've said this is the map we're going to focus on. This is our map. I don't know, man. There comes a point when you think we just lost the longest map in the game in 3 minutes 39 seconds.
Yeah.
Perhaps that prep wasn't that great after all. We should probably look at something else and, you know, have a discussion, have a talk. What do we feel comfortable on? I don't know, Jason. We'll see how this one goes.
And the thing is, like, compLexity's doing nothing different than what they've done over the past week and a half. Because they played in the Overwatch Open. They ran this exact same composition on defense, where you need to pick up an early kill. You're depending on your Winston and your Tracer to pick up an early kill. You have to be aggressive with this defense. That is hilarious. With your defense to make it work. So is that Winston? I don't know how that works.
No, it's Reinhardt. It's the bet with the golden thing, and obviously the spin on the tire. I mean, it's effectively could be a Winston swinging on the tire. Who knows?
Stick it up a zoo.
Yeah.
But yeah, so compLexity, they're looking for an aggressive defense. The problem is against Reunited, they didn't do it. They actually let Reunited come to them before they engage, which is not how this comp actually works. Cloud9, they have, again, a really overall good composition. Reaver on the Reaper had a phenomenal King's Row. You can get this close quarter combat positions, especially into that server room, just battle you and push you out.
All right, let's see what they're going to do. This is a sneaky, creepy, crawly tactic. You can see they're on the knees. Grego trying to creep around. Don't make any sound, boys. We're going in. They're going deep. They're going around the back, and they've got to go straight for Harblue. The hook comes through, but the shield works out well. He does manage to get Reaver down. Debet gets himself one straight back, but that's a problem because the damage dealer's gone down on Reaver, who we mentioned Vods playing very good in the last map, but Showdown, it's all down to him to get a pick now.
And this aggressive defense worked out initially, but the thing is, Cloud9 are still pushing this payload up further. They have the respawn advantage coming into the spot, and compLexity are just kind of flying by the wayside. However, Nicholas does turn it around, picks up a kill on Debet, so it gives him a little bit of control, and Cloud9 are respecting this. They're backing away, and they're going to regroup.
Yeah.
Sure, for the Deadeye, it can completely catch him off guard. If he somehow gets on the high ground, where you see JKW holding, if JKW retreats and gives up this position, that could be the entire wipe. That could be the next checkpoint easily taken for Cloud9. So they have to respect this, and they have to play it appropriately.
So they've clearly worked on this spec. I mean, we got Nicholas once again on Tracer. He had the same thing against a Rogue, and it didn't work out, but obviously this time we can see he's got that pulse bomb ready and waiting to go. Shawforce Deadeye is going to get used, actually. He didn't catch anyone with it and gets taken down by JKW in the end there. Nicholas is going to get around the side. He's got a pulse bomb available. He's going to throw it out at Grego. He'll look towards Reaver. Doesn't fancy using it. Just going to try and get the left clicks down. I would have thought he should have probably gone for it there. Will managed to get it in the end, and that's going to be Kai, Debet, Reaver, Grego, everybody dropping on the kill feed. And a solid hold for compLexity. So, 2 minutes and counting.
It's working out for them. I mean, it didn't do anything against Reunited, but it's really starting to show up against Cloud9. And I love the way that Shake and Joe Meister actually held on the high ground, because they held up towards the left, on towards the second floor of this position, because they can heal you while you're on the ground with the AoE healing. They can put the orbs on you, and if anyone comes at them, they can easily speed themselves away and actually escape, which forces the enemy tank, or whoever it is, probably going to be Reaver in this situation, to overcommit. And when that happens, they can turn around, instantly kill him, and then have a favorable fight. But here we go, another fight breaking out. Torque's not really able to connect onto too much. Does get Surefour down with the Deadeye, and there's a Transcendence use off the back.
Yeah, going to use up, going to get back in there, going to try and push them away, and Reaver's forced to back away. Death Blossom is still available, tries to get the rotate, tries to go up from above, might be able to drop down. You can see Joe Meister Shake all together. They're caught out with the Earth Shatter. In comes Reaver with the Death Blossom, catching them down there. Kai comes through. Reavers gets himself yet another on JKW. Niklas the only man standing, and he should get picked off the payload point. He's just going to try and zip around, but he will get taken down by Adam. Cloud9 will hit the first point in 3 minutes.
And it doesn't really matter how well you hold that first point if a team can combo against you like that. I mean, that was a Graviton Surge coming out of compLexity that they just didn't capitalize off of. Now Harboo's switching over to the D.Va to try to buy some time, try to switch things up a little bit, but they're being pushed back. This is their spawn. They're being completely eliminated here. Cloud9 have so much room to work with. How are compLexity going to take this point back?
And that's given them the high ground, hasn't it? You can see they've already gone around there. This is ordinarily where you want to see compLexity getting on top of that shuttle. But look at Adam. Look at Reaver. They're all in there at the moment. They're taking control. Surefour gets himself on top. Reaver's in position. They're going to try and push around. But Kai is going to beam down. That D.Va's not going to be able to block that beam. Harboo takes out a hell of a lot of damage. Graviton Surge available. Might be able to pop it on the top there. Just going to wait for them to drop down. Sits it, backs away around the payload point. Sit ready and waiting. He wants to sneak around the corner and drop that Graviton Surge in their faces, but he just beams down instead. He just comes around the corner and takes Torque out straight point blank.
And that's not good. They've lost one of their big damage dealers. That's the Transcendence been used, but for what? You already lost your McCree. They're able to turn around, and Niklas is going to fall for this one. Even Earthshatter coming in just to solidify what Cloud9 has already been able to do in this fight, and compLexity are crumbling yet again.
Well, it's not quite a 3 minutes 39 game, which they had against Rogue, but they are crumbling. I don't know what compLexity saw in this map. I would love to hear from them, but you can see they've only just come out that spawn point because they haven't quite hit the payload marker. He's just about to hit it now, so it's going to reach there. Finally, they come on through, but Cloud9, they're already looking at a good time. I mean, compLexity going to have to put a absolute godlike performance to hold off for, what, just under 6 minutes on this final marker.
Yeah.
Yes, and you can see it's already up the hill.
And they're still coming in with the D.Va here, so they're not going to be switching back to a Zarya. They're not going to be running a Roadhog, and they're really feeling confident that Harboo can kind of go for a lot of control. D.Va's not going to connect because that shield being used, but it has been broken immediately, and there's an Earthshatter coming in, actually not too bad, to be honest, and the self-destruct to follow up with, but I think most people are going to be safe, able to actually line of sight that entire ultimate, and now Surefour's being forced to respect Torque, who picks up Reaver.
Yeah, just gets that Deadeye through. Couldn't quite get it under the payload, which can work out quite often. Surefour, though, backs away, respects it. Just coming up to the 5-minute marker here for Cloud9 on attack. Remember, this is a case of winner will go through and face Rogue in the decider match tomorrow. Loser will be out of the tournament. compLexity and Cloud9 both lost their initial matches against Reunited and Rogue.
And we need to see compLexity engage. They need to somehow stop this payload from moving. It's already gotten so much progression. There's going to be their Transcendence coming through, keeping them all healthy, even with the Earthshatter coming through, and Torque takes down Debet, which gives them a huge advantage coming to this fight. But they're not pushing. Where's the aggression? You got an early kill. Why not charge into them? Well, they're being smart, because they know that Kai is going to have his Graviton Surge up, which can completely turn this fight and this aggression on its head.
Yeah, Reaver going to teleport in position. We're going to see look towards Kai. He might have just dropped straight down. He got himself a free shot there onto Shake. Gets himself 3 shots on the tank. That's not ideal. He's spinning around. Where's my support? Nobody with him. JKW just gets picked up with ease by Reaver there. He comes on through. Surefour gets himself a double. The tank is down. The Deadeye comes on through. He's not even going to work out. He gets himself into Wraith form. Finally gets the flashbang down, but Torque's all alone. Just trying to hold them off the point as the payload rolls onto the final point.
They're going to have a chance to stall. Adam's going to have Transcendence, going to be forced to pop out immediately just so they can drag up this fight, somehow pick up some kills. Grego's going to take the Niklas. Surefour gets a kill to Bet as well. And somehow compLexity are falling here. Cloud9 looking for a sub-7-minute finish.
Reaver ready and waiting to go with his ulti. You can see the wall, the May, anything, trying to work, trying to keep them at bay, trying to hold that time down, but he's even getting smashed down in his ice cube. That is not going to work out for him. 6 minutes and 20 seconds. It's already a good time for Cloud9, and that will be there. Posted. 6:24 is on the marker. compLexity have a heck of a job to do.
Well, at least you can give credit to compLexity that they didn't let Cloud9 finish in 3.5 minutes. So that's a good sign for them. But again,
they doubled the time almost.
Yeah, they did. The problem we're seeing is that whenever the pressure's on, whenever they start to somehow fumble, they just cannot come back. And that's something, I mean, I'm saying it a lot, but it's not necessarily easy to do. You kind of have to maybe depend on a big key player to pick up a couple of kills and turn a fight, or maybe a motivator within your team just in voice comms or something like that. But from what I'm seeing, it looks like compLexity, for the most part, are just being dead quiet.
Serious stern faces on the compLexity team there. Solid stuff, but you could argue Cloud9 also the same. Just focus. Collect your thoughts. 20 seconds until the game gets underway. The hero lock-in begins. What are we going to see? Anything fancy coming out of Cloud9 in defense? I think they're just going to go with tried and tested. You know, what works, standard stuff.
I wouldn't mind seeing like Tracer for sure for potentially.
Yeah?
It wouldn't be too bad. Well, because you can kind of be a big nuisance if you can depend on Reaver to hold, depending on the location they want to defend from. From server room, you can kind of afford to do it because Tracer can just, as long as you're trust and sure for, can just kind of dance around and buy time. Problem for them is they have a Genji and a Tracer to go up against, even a Roadhog, which is a very aggressive lineup out of compLexity and does so much damage as well if you're not prepared for it.
So server room hold. Good old fashioned tried and tested setup from Cloud9. It's worked for many a month already, so why not stick to it? And it's none of this fancy shenanigans we saw with, it was Rogue, wasn't it? It had the triple drop down setup.
And I'm not really liking compLexity's composition to deal with it either. Because you need like a Winston in this area, maybe even a Diva or both to actually help out to mitigate enough damage that you can actually take down the supports that you're looking for. There's no real instant kill mechanic out of Cloud9. They don't have a Roadhog themselves, so they can't actually just burst someone down instantly. But I don't know, the Genji Tracer are just a little bit too squishy for my liking to be able to successfully push into server room and pick up kills. I mean, obviously, if you get a kill, Torque can just snowball this fight over and over and over, resetting those dashes. But you also have to depend on a hook at a Harblu to really provide the damage they need to allow this to really kick off.
All reliant on that pick. It's Showfall that just took a little peek around that corner. That's the one they're going to be looking for. Payload now starts to reach that server room. Expect Cloud9 to push on around that corner in just a moment. Just waiting to bide their time. Hold as long as they can on the shield. You can see Torque, he's trying to get around the back there. Harblu looking to get the pick. Now they push. Harblu misses the hook once again as they push around the side. Shawfall flanks around the position. Debit getting the charge down just to get in position. He finds Harblu. Harblu goes aggressive. Nicholas finds Adam. This is a really weird situation. Harblu takes down the tank. This is compLexity going to push on through. They've got themselves 3 kills. The payload is just going to walk on through. And Cloud9 have just crumbled.
And Torque might not have picked up a lot of kills there, but the distraction alone was able to catch him off guard. For some reason, Debet was in such a bad position. He gets taken down 1v1 against Harblu, and now compLexity on a fantastic time. But now this is where things get difficult. This is where they struggled against teams like Team Liquid in this hangar phase. They need to maybe take advantage of the high ground. With the Genji, they do have the possibility to do that, but that's just going to be it. You depend on Torque to lock down the high ground control and prevent them from being able to use it. And if you look at Cloud9's side, they don't really have anyone in particular that's going to go up there, except maybe Reaver.
Yeah, so Shawfall with the support.
Oh,
Harblu just around the corner. He's going to get straight in the face of Debit. He's got to make sure. Nicholas comes around. The pulse bomb gets dropped down there. Doesn't manage to work out. Shawfall takes him down. Quick and easy flashbang to the face. Gets in there. Transcender's going to drop around the side. Deadeye will come through. Shawfall picks nothing up with that. Torque manages to get himself Debit down with the Dragon Blade. Working around to the side. Can't get too much else with it. The Earth Shatter doesn't really have too much effect as the Transcenders comes chiming in. Harblu gets Reaver down, but he managed to get himself a double kill just before that. Torque just going to get the deflect down there. Manages to block out, but Kai coming in. A very even fight, but it will be Cloud9 that should hold.
And Cloud9 have so many ultimates ready to use as well, so they're not even committing him in this fight, knowing that we can save them. We can use this to buy some time because there's still 4 minutes left for compLexity to finish off this entire map. The actual payload's still being contested. In the meantime, compLexity are not giving up on this attack.
Yeah, Grego managing to pick up Nicholas there completely around the backside, not letting him get the flank off. So now we're going to see Cloud9 take the high ground. This is where the stall really begins. We're at 2 minutes 30, still 4 minutes on the clock for compLexity to finish out this map, but they're in this really awkward situation where you start getting locked into those spawn points. There's only a couple, and now Cloud9 with that shuttle bay covered off, they're going to just pick and choose their moment to attack.
This is so dangerous too. Actually, Soundbarrier and use Kai going to pop the Soundbarrier, going to pull them together. There's going to be no Transcendence to actually prevent this one from officially being held off, and that's going to be a clean fight for Cloud9. There's really no chance compLexity should ideally be able to win this, but I say that Harblue picks up 2, Shake picks up 2. It must have been the pulse bomb doing a lot of damage. Not to mention Torch is dashing time and time again through him, and Cloud9 are getting completely wiped. compLexity are going to get the next checkpoint, and they still have 3 minutes to go to close up the game.
Holy cow, we could see this happen, ladies and gentlemen. compLexity, 3 minutes to close out the map. This is now totally doable. Shawfall makes the switch. Out comes the Pharah. Are we going to see a Mercy to follow? Adam picks off Harblue as they're trying to come around, so the aggression from compLexity not going to work out. They will get delayed, and Shawfall starts to get some of that chip damage with the rockets from range.
Hey, please tell me compLexity is going to switch. They need a McCree to deal with Surefour. Do not tell me they're going to put their tournament lives on ignoring a Pharah in the high ground. These are so easy kills that can happen, but look at Surefour. He's picking up kill after kill. He gets Nicholas down on the Tracer. He's not even being harassed on the high ground. No one's even switched to someone that can deal with them, and he's already getting really close to his barrage.
Gonna get around the side, JKW getting Kai down with Reavers replying. You can see the Talk not able to get a great deal from that one. Finally gets Grego down, gets the reset, but that is all. Devet comes through on the side there. They're still yet to deal with Shawfall, who's sitting up on high, laying down the damage. The payload's gonna make his way around the corner, and Cloud9 forced to respect this. The fact that Nicholas manages to get Devet down, he's the only man standing as in comes Winston to hold them off. Now, look at the time. 2 minutes to roll on in. Barrage ready to go for Shawfall.
They're still ignoring him. They still do not have a McCree to deal with Surefour. They're hoping on Harblue to be the one to deal with them, or even Torque using the reflect to try to throw a rocket back in his face, but Surefour has this barrage, and it's going to be coming in soon. There it is across the entire team of compLexity. He gets the shield out, no kills just yet, but he's able to force them back.
Nothing comes out from it. That's the core problem, though. Now look at Reaver. He's going to push up through. Nicholas and Harblue get themselves kills. That's both tanks going down. Adam and Reaver picked off. Could we see compLexity doing it in time here? Shawfall from up above. He's not contesting it. Get on the point. He jumps it down. He gets picked off. I can't believe this is happening. Grego comes through. Kai gets in there. It's happened. compLexity have beaten Cloud9. They will go out of the tournament 2-0. Incredible stuff. compLexity will go through to face Rome tomorrow in the decider. Jason Kaplan, what the hell just happened?
I think we talked about in the beginning, the entire match. Somehow compLexity are the kryptonite. That's the team they seem to not have one of the best win records against. The other team is envious, and yet they're able to close that one out. They ignored Surefour. They ignored the Pharah and still won. That should never happen. Harblue on that Winston, and Shake chiming in on that hanger face to pick up 4 kills across those 2 players was phenomenal. It was huge to get the momentum they need, and when the momentum's on their side, they look unstoppable, but when the momentum's against them, they crumble like they did on Kings Row.
The shielding worked so well. I mean, Shawfall, the barrage was perfect. It was on top of them all.
Yep.
There was the shield, the Zai,
and they all
everything
backed
came
away
in.
quickly
Everything
around the
backed
corner.
away. Yeah, the Winston shielding working out. It was